Hey everyone, welcome back to Watch More Football. We're back again to discuss the latest round of Premier League games. As always, you're watching us in the Genreverse Sports YouTube channel, so just check that out. You'll find our back catalogue on there. While you're there, you can also check out our main Genreverse YouTube channel. Just got a lot more stuff on it, mostly to do with entertainment, news, reactions, even reviews are on there. Similar content to that you'll also find in written form on LRM online.com. My name's Cam Clark. I'm one of the senior editors over at lrmonline.com, as is our producer, Kel, who's here today, as always. And I'm here with Dave and Mick. However, no Ryan this week. I wasn't here last week. Ryan's not here this week. Sorry, these things happen. But we shall soldier on without him. Although this week I am concerned about how little football any of us have actually watched. So, maybe it's slightly more short and concise than it normally is this week. As always, guys, we're going to start off with our predictions. What were you going to say, Mick? Sorry?
You're saying that you can only watch 4 games in a weekend, legally. I watched 3.
Legally. Yes, but I guess that's also only Premier League, because you can definitely, if you're going to go to other leagues, you can watch more than that one weekend. There was one weekend I managed to watch football entirely from about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, normally
10 o'clock.
Yeah, I used to do that back in the day.
Normally on a weekend I watch about 7 or 8 games.
Before you were married, Dave, and had responsibilities. But anyway, our predictions league, we'll have a wee look at it. In terms of how we all did this week, myself and Dave got the most points on 5 this week, just 5 draws. No one get any correct scores this week. Mick and Ryan get 4 points each, and Kel only get 3. And how that leaves the table, as you can see on the screen if you're watching us, is that I am still top with 56 points. Mick is second with 54 points. Not much, and really not much in it to Dave on 53 points. A little bit of a gap to Ryan in 44, and then not much between him and Kyle in 43.
Can we just say it's about time you actual football fans finally are ahead of me? Because man, I was getting worried. I'm not betting anymore though, that's good.
It's about time that you just started getting some bad calls instead of just getting lucky all the time.
Showing your true colours now.
Flukes could happen. Yeah.
Showing your true colours.
I think
you know why that is?
Don't
you? Because you decided to support Arsenal.
Well, that is true. Yes.
That's what did it. As soon as I started backing the big gun, I just can't pick winners and losers anymore.
Yeah, just it's that toxicity.
Thank God you didn't spot Spurs, really.
Yeah, I think you'd probably quit the show by now if you'd supported Spurs, to be perfectly honest with you. Because I would have probably spent all my time slagging them off. Anyway, we will talk about Spurs a little bit this week. It may or may not be one of our moments of the week. But in terms of the actual results that did happen, the first ones that we're going to look at, as always, is our shocks of the week, which are the ones that none of us really went for. The first one that we're going to look at is Leicester beating Bournemouth 1-0, which doesn't seem that crazy when you think about it. If you'd said that 3 years ago, Leicester beating Bournemouth 1-0, you'd have just went, eh. But actually, the way Bournemouth have been playing, guys, it was a bit of a shock result, wasn't
it? Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a shock.
Leicester haven't been rolled over at all this season. They've been putting up good fights, so I guess it was possible. Yeah.
Bournemouth have been playing some really good stuff as well.
Yeah, they have been.
Has got them playing some really good football, and I thought Bournemouth might have won that quite easily, but well done, Leicester.
Yeah, I guess that was just my thinking as well, and probably Ryan's and even Kale's, because none of us went for the correct score on that one. In terms of the other kind of shock result that none of us really went for was Chelsea getting a draw with Forest, one each.
Men Forest
might be a shock though, was it?
Yeah. Was it a shock? Well, it was only 15 minutes of 10 men, and they played better with 10 men. They had more chances with 10 men.
It just happens sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Well, yeah, sometimes. Depends how good you are.
Sometimes it just makes them resilient, and they just go into
the other team can. The other team can just, I don't know, not be as rigid. They kind of go for it, don't they, and make themselves a bit more vulnerable on the counter, which is what's happening.
I watched like a Man U against Porto.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan's not here, so we could just talk about that one. That was funny.
It's not as fun slagging him off when he's not here, though, is it?
It's not really, is it? It's kind of like,
you can't really slag him off for that, neither, though. Down to 10 men and the drill through 3.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a pretty bad result. I guess their 0-0 draw against Villa was slightly better. But, back onto Chelsea a little bit first. But I thought Matt Sells had a really good game for Forest. I know Chelsea had a lot of chances. Probably they'll think they should have won the game. But I think he was the big difference as to why they never won that game.
Yeah, him and Sanchez made some great saves, especially in the last 10 minutes.
He did, to be fair, yeah. I mean,
unbelievable. Each team could have won at the end.
That clip he put in, Palmer's little flicking the double save. My word.
Yeah. That deserved a goal, but fair play. A double save. Oof, you got to hats off.
The one that kind of went off the post and went behind Sells. And it was almost like he just turns round and just happens. I don't know if he meant it, but he just happens to put his arm behind him and just scoop it. And it's like that off getting in. It's just unbelievable. But there you go.
Yeah, it was
Any thoughts?
frustrating.
Quite happy with Chelsea, Dave? Yeah.
I'm very happy with them. Yeah, very happy. I knew Forest have a really good defensive record this season. I think before that game they'd only conceded 5, which is the same as what Liverpool had. And I knew they would pretty much sit back against Chelsea, especially with the way Chelsea are playing at the moment. And it was just frustrating seeing their goal go in, just massive kick to the back of it was a free kick to the back of our box, hit across, and Wood just gets toe and goes in the far corner. And it's just one of those ones.
I think it was one of those ones where the keeper was saving it all the way, and then the toe pokes just pushes it right under him.
I think
no chance.
I think it was MotW who kept them on side by like half a foot as well. Like, it's just those, that makes a difference to the game. And I think had we scored,
that's why you're not title challengers, though. I think you're playing really well, and I think you're probably a lot of people's top tip to get maybe a top 4 place this year if you keep it up. Why for me you're not in the title race, because you're not yet ready to win games like that. When you just have to take your chances.
I think the next 5 games is really going to show where we're going to end up at the end of the season, because so far we haven't, apart from City and Brighton, we haven't really played anyone overly difficult, but we've got Liverpool next, so we'll see how we actually are then.
Yeah, that'll be a real test. I mean, we're playing you twice soon as well. I think I'm more worried about, I think we've got more of a chance against you in the League Cup because we're at home. But
in the League Cup, you'd be playing us the league second when we're team. We have 2 different teams, so you'd be playing on Kunku and Felix.
I'm worried we'll do the same, though. And I don't think, since we don't have Europe, I don't think we should be doing that. I think we should be playing a top team and trying to knock you out.
But only done it in the last one because we played Wimbledon.
When we have to go to yours in the league, I think that's a tough game for us coming up too.
We've only done it in the last one because we played Wimbledon. League 2.
Coming up against, you're right. And it was all
coming up against Chelsea. We'll be playing. Coming up against Chelsea, we'll be playing a strong team.
Yeah, you will.
I'd like to think so. Anyway, it would feel like it's much more of an important competition for us than I think it is even a Chelsea at this stage that have won it millions of times and maybe have slightly bigger ambitions. For us, it's a very big trophy still, and we should be going all out for it. Anyway, on to our moment of the week this week, and we originally had in, and we just changed it before we started, Brentford winning 5-3 against Wolves, but we changed it because it was a great game, lots of exciting goals and everything like that, and none of us watched the game live, but I think we all watched the highlights, and it was a good watch. But we kind of all expected probably Brentford to beat Wolves anyway, because Wolves have not been playing that well this year. And probably the most notable thing about it, Dave, was what in the game you said it earlier on? The Wolves game. What was the most notable thing about the
most notable thing? It was Ryan that mentioned it. It was Wolves' third goal.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was in the 93rd minute, and you could hear a pin drop when they scored. nobody was asked about it at all. It was just
it's
the goal went in and there was just nothing in the stadium.
I do worry for Wolves a little bit. I don't think it's O'Neill's fault, because I think he did really well last year when they gave him nothing, and they've done less than give him nothing this year. They've sold his two best last year. Yeah. So I don't know what they expect, really. You know, they're hoping for miracles, and he might well pull it off. I wouldn't surprise me if he does pull it off, actually. But
they've had a difficult run in.
Could not be thinking about sacking him.
I hope they wait till at least after Christmas before they make that kind of decision.
Yeah, because it's not as if they're going to get suddenly cast adrift with some of the teams that are down there with them. I think Southampton.
Southampton definitely will do. Yeah.
You know, and as the games go on, it gets harder. Ipswich will struggle a little bit more as well, because they've got a few injuries, and you know they don't have the squad depth to back it up. It always happens.
Southampton as well
after starting. Yeah. Anyway, but a real moment of the week this week that we're actually going to talk about, which is far more significant, is Spurs being 2-0 up and absolutely bottling it once again and getting beat 3-2, which was just perfect off of Brighton Hove Albion.
The thing is as well, though, Spurs looked so comfortable in that first half. 2-0, they were absolutely cruising. Could have been 3 or 4.
It's a cliche, lads, but you know what they say. They were absolutely cruising. It really was. You know,
that must have been like
Brighton were rubbish in the first half. To be honest, they really didn't do anything at all.
Maddison ran the show. He was absolutely brilliant in that first half. And they must have been doing what AC Milan done against Liverpool in 2005 in the Champions League final, 3-0 up at half time, celebrating. Yeah, we've won this easy. Brighton thought, yeah.
You know, I know that Big Ang was very unhappy with that mental attitudes after the game, because that's what he said. He said they must have thought they didn't have to. You know, the game was won already at half time, because he says what I saw in that second half just wasn't good enough. And I think you said how good Maddison was in the first half, but he was an absolute passenger in that second half. He just
half the Spurs team
at all. That's fair though. Yeah, they all just, and that's the old thing with Spurs, isn't it? It's just having that bad mental attitude. You just always think that they're capable of doing something like that.
Yeah, it was still a bit of a surprise, but it was
a nice surprise.
A
surprise, but a welcome one.
I'd have been happier with the draw, but never mind.
I bet we have no Spurs viewers because we just slag them off all the time.
Yeah, probably. You know, I mean, if I was a Spurs fan, I wouldn't watch us, to be fair.
I don't know if Rich still watches, because we do dig into Arsenal a bit as well.
Yeah, not as much as Spurs though. So you might watch for those bits and then not watch for the Arsenal bits. I don't know. I mean, we have a dig at everybody. I mean, when our own teams are doing rubbish, we have a dig at them as well in some ways, and we have a dig at each other's teams. It's not as if Dave loves Newcastle and Man United or anything like
Dave's
that.
got his soft spot for Newcastle.
Chelsea.
I do have a soft spot for Newcastle. Yeah.
He's had family members who support Newcastle.
Exactly, yeah. But Man United,
it's kind of understandable, but yeah, nobody's got a soft spot for Man United other than Ryan, no chance. But yeah, I think that was the moment of the week for me, for sure. Certainly made that weekend.
Yeah.
So that takes us on to our team of the week and all the players that we've obviously picked this week. So
ignore the goalkeeper.
Right. Yeah. So that is what I was going to say. If we look at our team of the week this year, I'm just bringing it up. Sorry, viewers, on my phone because I'm so unprepared. It's unreal. That's just how I roll. But yeah, I Pickford as our keeper, and you obviously said he had a great game. I know he saved the penalty. I only saw the highlights. I didn't watch the game because I was away this weekend doing stuff with my daughter. But I thought Sells was the keeper of the week for me in his performance against Chelsea. And I thought Sanchez was a close second, probably. Both of them
I couldn't say anything because I
didn't watch a game.
It's the only game I saw apart from Poznan, so I thought I'd go. No, I can't say pick Verters because it was the only game I saw. So
yeah, no, I mean,
I agree with you.
I've got no problem with saying.
You watched the Newcastle game though?
Yeah, I still wouldn't.
Oh, anyway,
It didn't make as many
now.
great saves as what Sells did, but he did keep them in the game.
He did keep a clean sheet, I guess, which Sells didn't. But
I tell you, which keeper had a really good weekend. De Gea.
He
two
did
penalties
for Fiorentina against AC Milan, saving 2 penalties. Yeah, he's thriving for them at the minute.
Who'd have thought?
Who else have we got? So this will be quick this week because I don't know why. I think Ryan picked maybe the majority of them this week, and normally I think last week I picked the majority of them, and then I wasn't there last week, so we're doing well on that front. Emerson at left back for West Ham. I believe it's just because was that you? Because he just won man of the match, I think.
No, it's not just that though. He had a very good game. He was up and down that left flank, West Ham's left flank. That was really dominated the game for them.
I don't remember agreeing for Johnny Evans to be in defence. I think Ryan snuck that in, but actually he did win man of the match in their game, didn't he? Against Aston Villa, 0-0 draw.
Mm-hmm.
I would say though that's more about Aston Villa looked knackered after their victory against Bayern Munich in midweek in the Champions League. They looked really tired and sluggish. And Man United still didn't look that good against them, and that's kind of the way I saw that 0-0 draw rather than what Evans.
There's another reason I mentioned Emerson. Sorry, another reason why I mentioned Emerson is he made 7 tackles in that game, which was more than any other Premier League player in the weekend.
That's a lot.
Definitely deserves to be in. Akoli at Leicester. Well, he kept a clean sheet. I assume he had a good game. I didn't see enough of the highlights to be able to comment.
I didn't see enough of that one, to be honest.
Fair enough. Garner, you did see him. Did he have a really good game? Did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he done well to keep Barnes quiet. And Barnes went off, and we kept putting Gordon out there. He had a really solid game for them.
Yeah,
that's why.
I think Kovacic was probably the auto pick of the week, the one that you just put straight in.
Yeah,
he basically ran the game, scored the 2 goals for Manchester City to win them the game. Yeah.
Why is he doing this? He's not supposed to do this. It's not in his coding to score all his goals, Kovacic.
Did he not score? Did he not score the odd Did he not do maybe 1 or 2, 3 a
Kovacic,
year?
He's a one banger. He's a one banger.
Is that one a season
guy? Yeah, and he's scored 4 this season.
That's just too many.
One of them was against Chelsea,
which was an absolute banger.
Yes, it was. I thought that was him done for the year, but evidently not. No.
Maybe you know what Pep's like. He turns these players different. Maybe he's turning Kovacic into the new De Bruyne. He's going to be this goal-scoring Frank Lampard type midfielder.
But he's had to step up because Rodri's knackered.
Yeah, and he's doing
that. But it's more the. I mean, but then Rodri scores a lot of these goals as well, doesn't he? In the edge of the box, you know. I mean, and Kovacic is kind of playing in the same position, so it makes sense. But Damsgaard at Brentford, he was probably the best player, and Brentford scored 5 goals and 1 easily. So no stranger to putting that one in. We've got another Leicester player in. I think he was the goal scorer as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was a really good goal as well.
Yeah,
very good goal.
Saka had a really good game for Arsenal on the right wing. I think he got a goal and an assist, and he also had just some lovely touches and stuff like that as well. Rutter, I didn't know he was a centre forward. Is he? I don't know why I'm at centre forward. Yeah,
he's not. He played in a 10 role. He played behind.
Ryan put him up front, so
we just shoehorned him up there.
Reasons for that.
And to be honest,
yeah, I think that's what's happened.
I would have put Cody Gakpo in because he got man the match for Liverpool.
He's not a striker either.
Well, neither is Rutter. And Gakpo can't play up there.
But surely somebody was a better striker than that this weekend.
Maybe Welbeck.
Bueno. How did he do?
He scored a goal.
He scored
the winner.
All it takes.
I mean, it was a bit of a tap in, and Rutter made it. So I guess when you put it that way, but yeah, I would have thought Welbeck was a striker and Rutter was the provider. Anyway, we'll ask Ryan about that one another time. That's a discussion for another time. Kudus at West Ham. That's his first appearance in our team of the week this year, isn't it? Which is actually surprising.
West Ham have been crap. That's why.
Yeah, they have. It was the first decent game they've played this season.
Maybe they turn it around. Who knows?
Like I said, it was that left side, Kudus and Emerson for West Ham.
Yeah, you did say that, Mick. You did say that. You can tell how much football we've watched this week that Dave and I are just going like, Yeah.
Hence why we call the show Watch More Football.
Yeah.
You were watching football this weekend, Dave, but it just wasn't in this country.
Yes, I watched Poznan play this weekend. It really makes you appreciate the Premier League. But I loved it. As well, it was amazing.
Apart from the atmosphere, you loved the atmosphere, didn't you?
The atmosphere is very different to over here. So you walk into the stadium and it's like going to war. You have these drums banging and they're singing these amazing songs. And I've never witnessed anything like it. But you realise halfway through the game when the opposition scores, nothing changes. Like they went 2-1 down, and if you were blind, you wouldn't know what the hell was going on because nothing changes. I'm not even sure they're even watching the game. They're just singing.
Yeah, I get that feeling sometimes for European football.
Yeah,
They're just there dancing and singing and not really watching the game.
Yeah. I loved it at first, but midway through a match, I thought, I love English football with how they react to the game, and it's all emotion. As much as I loved it in Poznan, it's not quite the same. And also, we didn't do the Poznan.
It was only the Poznan.
We didn't do the Poznan. Yeah, and it was only half full. Yeah, I know. I was really looking forward to doing the Poznan. Looks like I'm just going to have to go to City to do that.
And then they don't do the Poznan.
Yeah, I did notice something there when you said that when you first go into the stadium, it's like going to war. Kyle actually pricked his ears up and went, "What?"
Some PTSD going on there. How about to Poland?
That was just his PTSD.
But yeah, it was an incredible experience, and I'd highly recommend it.
You guys seem to Dortmund. I know why Europe needed America to come and save you guys' asses a few times. You guys are just too busy freaking singing. Like even wrestling, I watched a wrestling event that was held in like France or something. They're freaking singing there. What the hell, guys? Shut up and fight. Maybe you'll win something.
You used to when you go to sport events then.
College football.
Eat hot dogs and sit there and go.
No, we cheer. We just don't have songs out of college. Like there are college fight songs, and they do sing those like college football, basketball, and whatnot. But all the pro sports, there might be some musical things, but they're not songs. So people might have like a chant or some sort. But the cheering is loud.
They've become soulless franchises that even move cities.
They do move cities.
Absolutely no connection.
But they don't rent their players out. We don't rent our players out to the enemy. I mean, like your guys. Yeah, no, but
weird. The only thing you'll chant about is USA. USA.
USA.
It's a good sample, and it's like dead simple, and you can get away with it, and it works.
That's all it.
Have you ever seen the fight and win guy?
The what?
That's how we imagine the fight and win guy.
I don't think so. It's not ringing a bell.
No, you two must have seen it. Was it the Chicago fire? Or who was it? I can't remember. It was just a guy at the front of the stadium just shouting "fight and win" into a microphone, and everybody else had to do it. It's the most cringeworthy thing I think I've ever witnessed. And that is how all Europeans envision American sports.
Before I just go like
Mike some
and then they do like a kiss cam.
We do have some silly stuff like that. Hockey is my primary sport, and being a Penguins fan, we do have a chant like many sport teams do in sports, and that's "Let's go Pens." And so they'll play like an air horn sound 3 times. They're like beep beep beep, and then "Let's go Pens." So we got things like that, which
why haven't you changed
even I don't
Let's
really
Go Pingu, because that's But we would if there was a team called the Penguins in Britain, we would have, our nickname for them long ago would have changed to Pingu, I believe.
Pens. What is wrong?
You've never heard of Pingu?
Finish up the show so I can go like take a shower or something.
Yeah.
My God.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway, shall we move on to VAR Watch? Mick, talk us through. I don't know what they're moaning about, but Everton are moaning about some penalty incident.
Well, Everton just like to moan, full stop, don't they?
Yes,
A lot of teams do, but I mean, even we get a penalty. You can't complain about our penalty. No way. Jacob Murphy's got the ball edge of the box. Yes, he's shooting. Yes, it's going nowhere near anyone. But James Tarkowski grabs Tonali and just nearly rips his shirt off his back and throws him to the floor with the ball going nowhere near him. And I swear to God, I thought he was just trying to throw him into the back of the net.
It's crazy. He picks him right off the floor and throws him down horizontally.
And yet he complains when the penalty's given. As if to say, but the ball's nowhere near. To
be honest,
honestly, and you're going to talk about like how Palace never got a penalty against Liverpool because the ball was coming across, it was going nowhere near them. And Virgil van Dijk just grabbed Gahey by the arm at a tiny little tug, and they're saying, "Well, Palace should have had a penalty." This was 10 times worse, if not 100 times. It looked like he was literally trying to throw him in the back of the net.
The one they're claiming though was shocking, I thought, as well, because I don't think it was a penalty.
So the ball comes to Calvert-Lewin inside the box, about 8 yards out. He manages to get his shot away. Good save from Pope. It's coming back to Calvert-Lewin, where Dan Burn is running behind him, and he nicks in front of him to clear the ball, where Calvert-Lewin just about to shoot. He just gets his body in front of him to nick the ball away, and Calvert-Lewin kicks the back of Dan Burn's leg and goes down. How's that a penalty?
I don't see it either. You know, it's like if you did that in slow motion, people would laugh at the fact that it's a penalty. And I know it can look worse when it's in fast speed, but
100%. Yeah, when it's live,
it looked worse. But when you slow it down, I just
straight away, I looked and I thought, "Oh, I don't believe it. It's a penalty. I don't believe this." And then when I seen the replay, I thought, "That's no way. Definitely not a penalty." And then obviously it wasn't given. But then when you watch Ref Watch with Dermot Gallagher, Stephen Warnock, and I can't remember what
what were they saying about it?
The girl's name is. Dermot Gallagher said straight away, "No, it's not a penalty. No way." He went, Dan Burn's been clever. He's got his body in front. Calvert-Lewin has kicked the back of his leg. It's not a penalty. And then Stephen Warnock saying it's 100% a penalty. I don't understand how you can say it's not. And who was it? The girl that does it with him? What's her name?
Geez, I should know that. I watch that quite often.
I can't remember what her name is. Anyways, and she's talking about
Sue, but I can't remember her second name.
But she's talking about how
fan, though. Remember
that Dan Burn gets in Dominic Calvert-Lewin's space. I'm sorry, you're playing football, not netball. You don't get space. Yeah, if somebody wants that ball, they've got to get there to get it. You've got to be in some space to get the ball. You don't get space. It doesn't matter where you are.
There's a ball in the centre circle, and two people are running towards it, and I get to it first, and I decide not to touch it, but just stand in front of it so that you have to either go round me or go through me to get the ball. Yeah. And you decide to kick the back of my leg because it's where the ball would have been and then you fall over and claim a foul. It's not a foul. Any day of the week, you wouldn't give a foul for that. It's not a foul in the box either. Simple as that.
Even the presenter of that Ref Watch, I'm sure he hates Newcastle, but he turned around and he was going on saying, "Well, Dermot, can I rewind you back to another incident involving Newcastle when Anthony Gordon put his body in front of Calvin Phillips, and Phillips kicks the back of his leg and Newcastle get a penalty." He went,
it's a completely
David Gallagher looked at him and went, "Yeah, what's your problem? It's still a penalty. What's your point?" At the end of the day, Gordon got his leg kicked, so he gets a penalty. Dan Burn got his leg kicked.
It's the same thing.
So it's not a penalty.
It's getting your foot in front of the ball before the other player.
Yeah.
That makes it your ball. They have to kick through you to get. if the player's stupid enough to not know where it is. To me, it didn't look as if DCL was even looking at where his leg was. He was just taking the shot, kind of almost not even looking at where the ball was,
enough.
and then he
That's
hit it
fair
and didn't
enough.
expect it. But it's not a penalty.
Nah, not for me. Nowhere near.
Well, that's settled that. Dave never saw it, so he's
You could all be
absolutely
talking
no
bullshit for all I know. I'll just believe you guys.
Just disagree and like say, you're wrong and bad.
Yeah, that's what I
and stuff
usually
like
do.
that to
Yeah,
make it-
I like to play devil's advocate every now and again,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I have to do
Dave
that
just
now.
likes to sit there and nod his head or shake his head.
What was we didn't have any other VAR watches, didn't we? Not this week.
Just
so-
that little one that I mentioned about Liverpool and Crystal Palace not getting the penalty when Van Dijk pulled Gay's arm back.
That's his aura, though, isn't it?
But Gay's in his space. You're not allowed to be in his space.
Do you know what? The one I watched, I thought it was one of those ones where if you're the team that pulls the guy back, that wasn't enough. He made too much yet. And if you're in the team that gets pulled back, you're claiming it's a stonewall penalty. It's just one of them. It's one of those ones. It's not that objective. Fans of either way are just going to pick whatever one it was. So I think
It's
whatever
so
way the
inconsistent.
referee went, you couldn't have argued.
It is.
It's so inconsistent. So yeah, that's why you think like that.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean that's pretty much it for this week, isn't it?
Short and sweet.
Brace
Yeah,
yourselves
we've not
next
got-
week for a 5-hour episode on PSR.
Yeah. It
I
be,
might have to
be.
miss it
That's-
because after the discussion today, WhatsApp.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We need to stop discussing it in WhatsApp, which we've done about 20 times, and actually discuss it face to face.
It's rehearsals, Cam. It's rehearsals.
It's rehearsal.
We'll forget everything that we've ever said. I'll be coming up with my argument. You guys about that. Oh man, you've said this 40 times already, Cam. You know what I mean? And I've never said it in the show before. So, But anyway, that is what we're going to do next week because it's an international week, so we've got no predictions for next week, no Premier League. We don't care about the international games, me less so than even those guys. And
Don't blame me,
so
Cam.
we're going to talk about PSR, which we kind of went on to almost when we had our last international break, and we realised it was just not going to be long enough to have this chat.
Because
That's
Mick
what
went
we're
on a
going to do
rant,
next week.
and we thought this is a bad idea.
So tune in next week because
Until next week.
Mick and I have very different views from Dave and Ryan on this one, so
I wonder
it's
why.
not going to be a friendly chat.
Yeah, I wonder why. Part of that
but,
cartel.
you say that, but I don't think Mick and I fully agree with each other, and I don't think you and Ryan are fully aligned either. So I think there's varying degrees in between.
We need
But we shall get to
somebody
that next
impartial
week, anyway.
that supports a team that isn't in the top 6 and isn't Newcastle.
Or
That's what we
Villa.
need.
What do you mean isn't in the top
or
6
Everton,
and isn't
or
Newcastle as if you aren't in the top 6, but because we weren't in the top.
You said
6 last
Yeah, he
week.
unbiased
he
third
means
party
pop.
without being in the top 6, and then I was like, oh wait, Big Gun is like number 3 right now, so I'm out.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Sorry.
can't. You can't.
But
Can't be you.
but the thing is though, he's meaning the cartel 6.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Next week.
Fair point. Fair point.
Next week. This is what you're in for next week, so tune in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be him and
Yeah,
Tasty
so that is
Ryan.
what we're going to be doing next week. So we're going to finish up this week. We've got one last thing. Mick, talk us through your shit house of the week. Dave hasn't seen it, and I think
This
I've
is
only
just-
I'm excited.
mildly seen it.
This is Everton Football Club putting a tweet out about Anthony Gordon missing his penalty against Everton. Obviously, Anthony Gordon used to play for Everton and signed for Newcastle. And they put when Pickford actually saves it. I mean, it was a terrible penalty. When Pickford actually saves it, they do the actual big on the end of it, which
Oh, right.
give them the shit house of the week.
Fair enough.
They could have something
that-
happy
that's-
to be,
Yeah.
life's miserable as an Everton fan at the moment. Let them be.
Yeah, let them be happy. They have to be happy about something. As I always say, they always pull out the stops against us. They always play against us like they've got. It's
We're
more
terrible.
than just a normal game. And they
We
have done ever
controlled that
since
game.
our takeover, really, to be honest, when we were former relegation rivals.
Put it this way, Cam.
I don't know.
If Isaac or Callum Wilson had been fit, we would have won that 3 or 4-0.
Yeah, from the highlights, I saw we looked far the better team. We should have won it anyway. But anyway, onwards and upwards. So that's us for this week then. We'll be back next week with our PSR chat. And then the week after that, we'll be back with normal service resuming. I've been Cam, that's been Dave, that's been Mick, and we'll get producer Kyle as well. So thanks for watching if you watched this all the way through. If you liked it, please give us a like or even a subscribe, that would be cool. If you didn't like it, or leave us a comment, let us know what you did like, didn't like, that'd be cool as well. And while you're on there, please also remember to check out Genreverse on lrmonline.com as well. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.